Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Wednesday afternoon video. Well, actually, it's Wednesday evening video, because getting close to dark soon. So-called a late Wednesday afternoon / Wednesday evening video. Right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Share the video all over the internet. Leave a comment on this particular video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and in the future, Conan. But don't leave stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely with a barbed wire exploding baseball bat, and then Ozzy and Satan will just come out and laugh at you, and then eat your soul. So don't do it. Go to your dead channel that nobody really gives a fuck about, and do it there. Because you ain't gonna do it on mine, you don't like it, tough shit. Because you're gonna get blocked, hidden, and bye-bye, so long, farewell to you. That's that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and don't forget to tap and slap that bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because you miss anything, boy, you are SOL, and you better know that. That's all I gotta say about that. If you don't know how to hit that bell and turn on all notifications, then you're SOL, and I think you know what that means by now, and if you don't know, now you know. And that's that. Simple as that. So, like, share, subscribe, leave comments, whatever you want to do, but these stupid comments, you're getting blocked, and I don't give a fuck. And that's that. Go cry about it, little bitches. And that's that. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab the cold one, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, too bad. Go watch somebody else. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching on this Wednesday evening, April the 22nd, Earth Day. That great planet we live on, Earth. Well, some of you live on, well, don't live on Earth. But it is what it is, but you live on some other planets, you know, but, you know, it is what it is, but it's Earth Day, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a great day. You know, wasn't so great here in the Northeast, but, we made up for it. I mean, later in this afternoon, sun came out, got a little bit warmer, which is nice. Tomorrow's gonna be 72, nice degrees, cools off a little bit. By Saturday, it's going to be raining again. And then next week, on and off rain to end April. But as they always say, April showers bring May flowers. So hopefully by next weekend, I'll get it out of my mouth. That's what she said. As we begin May, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully warmer weather and no, not much rain. But we'll see what happens with that as we start the unofficial first weekend of May, which is next weekend. Then we start the first official week, a week from this Monday. So May is coming, summer's coming in about 2 months or so, maybe less than that. But we're rolling on, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty soon, it'll be July 4th weekend, and even if you blink even more, it might be Labor Day weekend. And then the summer's over. I am in command. That's that. So we got that. But like I said, hope you had a great day, and if not, well, fuck you, man. That's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this Wednesday night, Juan Soto's back tonight for the Mets. Is he going to help? Probably not. Probably not. Mets looking to break the 12-game schneid and try not to hit that unlucky number of 13. We got Clay Holmes on the mound tonight. I'm not looking forward to a great start tonight. So even with Soto in the lineup, I don't even think the Mets can do anything. But we'll see. We shall see. You know, it's still early, but at this rate, if this was June, say goodbye to the Mets. But it's April 22nd, so anything can happen between now and the All-Star break. Maybe the Mets can turn it around. We'll see. And we got that. We also got AEW Dynamite coming up at the top of the hour. Should be a great show from Portland, Oregon. And it's the Darby Allin era. Hi, guys! I did it for you! Tonight I'm gonna defend my title against that psycho killer, Tommaso Ciampa. And I'm gonna get my ass kicked, but I'm gonna retain my title because I love you guys so fucking much. I live in a car in Seattle. I look so fucking emo to you guys. Anyway, yeah, so we got Darby defending this title for the first time against the Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa. See what happens with that. Every time that Ciampa has debuted somewhere, he's won a title, so Darby's little reign could end tonight. I doubt it, but we'll see. We got that and a whole lot more. We got my fourth amazingly hot Asian wife, Mina Shirakawa, taking on Hikaru Shida. That's going to be an epic match between two hot Japanese chicks. See what happens with that. And a whole lot more on your 2+ hour cue for insomnia. And that's AEW Dynamite on that great station of TBS. And we got that. Speaking of Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to this week's episode, let's go back, way back, into the annals of time. I said anal, because it is what it is. Some of you people like that, which is disgusting, but whatever. I don't like that shit. I go for the put here. That's that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, after 7 minutes of spiel, which you clipped, and I don't give a fuck, because you love me, and I don't love you, so you can suck my dick. But anyway, it is time for your really fucking late and really out of fucking date AEW Dynamite and Collision reviews for last week, April the 15th and 16th. That special Thursday night edition of Collision Spring Breakthrough Nights 1 and 2. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Let's not waste any more of your precious time. And that's that. Alright, so we are emanating from Everett, Washington, outside of Seattle, at the Angel of the Winds Arena. Little winky-dink arena in Seattle. And as always, our commentary team of the man behind the mask, Excalibur, my good buddy, Tony Baloney Schiavone, or Schiavone for you people that love Jericho. And, well, he's in his neck of the woods too, and that's Brian Danielson. Yes! Well, he's from Aberdeen, Washington, which is nowhere near Seattle. Around the same area. Well, not near it, but around the same Pacific Northwest, let's put it that way. So we got that. So two hometown boys in the house. Danielson and Darby. I was going to say Swerve, but we didn't see him, so. Swerve is from around the Washington State area. And we got that. Well, the Mets are up 1-0 again. Frankie Lindor did it again. Not a 3-run homer this time. He got a single to score. Bo Bichette. Mets are up 1-0. Bottom of the first. Yay! We'll see. We'll see now that Soto's in the lineup. See if that bitch manager of ours should be fired. Can make a lineup that works. And the pitching starts getting better. We got Christian Scott tomorrow. I don't trust that, but we'll see. We move on with that. But, yeah. We'll see what the Mets do. Yankees are in Boston, who they won yesterday. I think the day before that, too. So they're whipping the Red Sox ass. Stanton, another steroid home run. Another win for the Skankies. Big fucking whoop. Don't care. I think the Knicks play Game 3 of their series tonight in Atlanta. See what happens with that. Hope they lose. We move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. Alright, so we start off Dynamite. If we can. And Dynamite was a pretty good show. 710,000 views. Way up from last week. Well, not way up, but 56,000 views up from last week, which did 654,000. That's not bad. Raw is number 6 this week, by the way. We haven't got anything for NXT. I heard TNA got like 200,000 views. Ouch. Now, and that was for the Rebellion After Show. That sucks. So bad. So, we'll see what happens with that, and we move on. Alright, so to start the show off, with Renee Paquette in the parking lot, just chilling, you know, getting ready for the night. A car comes up into the parking lot / arena area, and then Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, MJF, the world champ, got his title. Pretty much and get his title back. He defended it against Kenny Bygone Omega in that epic match. Retained the title, and now, well, he has to face Darby. Well, he doesn't know that, but Renee's trying to tell him, and he's like, I don't care, I don't want to hear it. And then Don Callis comes in, and him and Max have a little argument about the money situation. Like, oh, you know, he paid off Andrade to face Darby, and he was supposed to beat Darby, so it was supposed to be you and Andrade. And Max got all pissed off, so he's like, I don't want to talk to you, dear Don. I'm gonna go into the arena and talk to my people, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually, Renee's like, wait a minute, Max, I need to tell you something. Tony Khan has made a match for you. You are going to defend that belt, that very belt you have, against the number 1 contender, that's Darby Allin. And Mac's like, what do you mean? I'm not even dressed yet. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing this and that. And your food is ready. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, he goes to the ring, he's complaining, he's like, I'm not gonna defend my title, I'm not even ready, I'm not prepared. And then Darby comes out and says, you're gonna fight me, blah, blah, blah. And then Mac's like, I'm gonna sue you, I'm gonna sue AEW, I'm gonna sue Tony Khan, I'm not gonna defend this belt. And then Bryan Danielson, gets on the mic and says that the match will happen, or, Max, if you don't do this match, you are going to forfeit the AEW World title. Or you're going to be stripped of the title. So Max is like, fuck! So, we get all that, and it is what it is. And that's that, so. Go figure that one out. Yeah, go figure that one out. So Max, you're in a pickle, and that's that. So my computer crashed again. So we'll see if we can get the computer back on. But before that, I'll go to my backup notes if I can, real quick. I'm loading my on my end. I don't know why it's not going. We'll figure that one out. Go figure that one out. My phone and my computer are acting up on that. Or hold on, maybe I gotta. Okay, I know what I did. I did something wrong. I hit the wrong button, you dick. I gotta put in passwords and stuff like that. You know, it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get these. Don't worry. All right, we're gonna go quick because Dynamite's coming up in about 25 minutes. All right, so So like I said, Renee tells him, say, hey, you're going to defend your belt here, right now. And Max like, what the fuck? And then we go to the ring. Darby's in the ring. Aubrey Edwards is in the ring. And Max comes out, threatens to, sue AEW, sue Tony Khan. I'm not doing it. He calls Aubrey Edwards a cunt or something like that. And Aubrey's like, what? And Darby then cut a major promo. He's crying up a storm and says, I did everything to get this title shot. I climbed Mount Everest. I got lit on fire. I got this and that. He's crying up a storm. He wants the world title, so he says, ring the bell! But before Aubrey can do that, Bryan Danielson says, like I mentioned before, Tony Khan agrees it's not fair. So he's going to give Max some time to prepare. So in the main event, Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, you will defend the AEW World title against Darby. And if you don't, you get stripped of the title. There it is. So tonight could be the night. Well, not tonight. So you knew right then and there that it could be Darby's night. And were they going to pull the trigger? We'll see. Alright, then we get a video from after Dynasty, where Kenny, by God Omega, really didn't have much to say. He runs into the trainer's room where Will Ospreay's there, and he's talking to Ospreay, says, I don't think I got it anymore, I don't have the heart to become a wrestler, and Ospreay wants the world title as well, thinks Kenny can do it as well. Calls Kenny a hero, and then he leaves, and then Kenny's like, I could be your hero, baby! He thinks that, and he's like, I could be a hero. I could be your hero. So, we'll see. Now, Kenny's got something, something to fight for. He's like, there might still be a chance to be a hero and become the world champion again. Well, you have to win the Owen Hart Cup, or somehow you get another title shot against Max, win it. We'll see. So, I'm thinking it's going to be, I think Ospreay is going to win the Owen Hart. That's definite. Then, in between that, does Kenny win the belt from Darby, or, we know that Max is going to get the belt back at Double or Nothing. After that, from June and July, and part of August, does Kenny get it? And then we get Kenny versus Ospreay at All In Ospreay's home country. Possibly we could see that, but I'm thinking they're leaning to Max and Will and Ospreay at All In. And I don't even think we're gonna see Kenny with the belt. Maybe this year. We don't know. We'll see. Alright, so the first part I gave 3 out of 5 stars. This pay-per-view. Oh boy. So I gave this segment with Kenny and Ospreay 3.25 out of 10 stars, and 3.25 out of 5 stars. I'm sorry, but it is what it is, and that's that. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, then we get to the first match of the night. The Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa, takes on Wesley, or Desmond Xavier. Little NXT type match. Pretty good for a little over 9.5 minutes. And back and forth they went, but in the end, Desmond hits a dive, goes to the 450, hit that, and for near fall. And then Ciampa hits a knee off a springboard out of midair. Project Ciampa connects, and then he pulls down the knee pad, and it's time for the meet in the middle running knee strike. And Ciampa hits that on Desmond Xavier. 1, 2, 3, he gets the win. And then basically he gets on the mic and says he wants it all, as in the world title. So that's why we get the match tonight. And then after Ciampa gets in a cheap shot, as like Desmond Xavier was getting up, then he left. That's that. Alright, then FTR comes out with the man who gets no hose, Stokely Hathaway. And, yeah, they come out. Dax the Axe Hardwood and Cash got a clock! Wheeler and Stokely there. Dax talks about how the fans are losers, just like Edge and Christian when they lost at Dynasty. Should not have lost. Stokely talks about all the teams FTR has beaten, the Bucks, the Briscoes, people like that. And then Cash Wheeler pulls out a gun, wants a moment of silence for Edge and Christian. And then we got not a 3-second, not a 5-second, but a 10-second, pose. And that was it. They left. So it looks like we're going to get Edge and Christian versus FTR Part 2. Maybe at Double or Nothing. So, Electric Boogaloo coming your way, probably at Double or Nothing. Alright, then we got a TNT title match. We got Kevin Knight, the new champion, won the Casino Gauntlet match for the TNT title. Takes on the Swiss, Claudio Castagnoli of the Death Riders. This was a great match for almost 10 minutes. We get near the end, and Kevin Knight is back up, springboards into a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Ow. Then it's time to go swing, swing, swing from the tabletop. My heart is crushed by a former love. You know, that song by All American Rejects. Great song. I love that song. Not a great band, but one of my favorite songs. Anyway, and then a catapult, 1922 catapult, sends Kevin into the corner, but he bounces back with a spinning clothesline. Then he goes up top, hits the UFO splash. 1, 2, 3. He beats Claudio. Wow. To retain the title. Good match. 3.25 out of 5 stars. Great match there. And then after the match, Kevin Knight gets on the mic, praises Claudio. Something you don't see every day. Says he's not mad at Mike Bailey, Speedball, about losing the trios titles. There was the night before Collision. That's it. He's like, I'm not mad about losing the trios titles, but now I got the TNT title. I'm gonna move on from that. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, then we see a video of Ricochet beating Chris Jericho in his return match at Dynasty, which I didn't like. So Chris Jericho comes out, everybody's singing Judas in my mind. He soaks in the cheering, soak it in, man. And says he might have lost at Dynasty because he was down 3-1. Basically, the Gates of Agony were there too. And then, speaking of the demand, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, Toa Leona and Bishop Quan! I know that Quan! They come out. Ricochet says he had the chance to win on Sunday by using what is now the Rico Salt. Anyway, now Jericho should just leave for good, as we've seen everything he already has. Jericho thinks Ricochet, thinks the Rico Salt is a brutal name, keeps calling out Ricochet for being bald. You're bald, you're bald, you're bald, 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 bald. And then issues a challenge for Ricochet to come down and face him one-on-one. Ricochet's like, okay, I'm going to go down there. They have a fight. Jericho's getting the upper hand eventually. And then the Gates of Agony come down. 3-1 beat down. And once again, Ricochet hits the Rico Salt and lays out Jericho. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight with all that. So we move on. Yeah, we will move on from that. Alright, so after, okay, we get that. Alright, at Dynasty, Takeshita mocked Okada after they lost to the Bucks, which Rui Takeshita caused. So, they're actually saying that Takeshita and Okada will fight for the Intercontinental Belt at Double or Nothing. Take my money. Take our money. We'll get that. Alright. Next match on Dynamite, Will Ospreay takes on Hichisaro, not for Hichisaro CMLL World title, not on the line, but this was a pretty good match. At one point, Hichisaro hit some move, hit a hammerlock backbreaker, then he spins the neck around of Ospreay, and I was like, uh-oh. And then, Doc Samson comes in, and it's like, it didn't look good at first. I'm like, uh-oh. Ospreay's going to be on the shelf for good. But eventually, Ospreay gets in the ring. No, he got hurt by a head scissors driver. Ow. They didn't land good, but in any case, they had to check on his neck for it felt like forever. And, but eventually, Ospreay somehow came back from that and made his comeback. Getting to the end, Hichisaro tries to cross armbreaker. Ospreay stands up, reversed into a Styles Clash. That was nice. Then he hits the Hidden Blade. 1, 2, 3 in just under 18 minutes. Ospreay gets the win in a classic match. 3.5 out of 5 stars. That was it. And then after the match, Mark Davis, another member of the Don Callis family, he comes in, takes Ospreay out, gives him a pile driver. Oh, another neck. Another thing on the neck. Oy, oy, oy. And then his music is just like, oh, what the? He thought someone was coming out. He even recognized his own music. And it happens. Happens to the best of us, Mark. Anyway, move on. Alright, after being attacked by Camille at Dynasty, resident fun girl and the TBS champion, Willow Nightingale, DDT, bam! Says she's ready to take Camille out on Dynamite in the TBS title match. So we get that. Alright, after that, Renee Paquette is here to talk, and then Dekla, the AEW Women's Champion, comes out, says she's the toxic spider, she's in the house, not drunk this time. Brags about beating Jamie Hayter to retain a belt, and then the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, Alex Windsor! She comes out, wants to fight, calls out Dekla for getting fired from Stardom. Thank you, Mr. Obari-san. I mean, not Obari-san, that's New Japan, sorry. The Okada-san, the other Okada, by the way. Not the Okada, but the smaller version of Okada. That runs Stardom. So Dekka's like, I didn't get fired! Okay, you got fired. That was funny. Okay, you did get fired then. Says Japan couldn't handle her. Yeah, the men couldn't handle her either, right, Clark Connors? Ooh! Anyway. So Windsor's like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna beat you. So the count is on, they fight on Collision. And then the Sisters of St. Julia Hart and Sky Blue, they come out, but they get taken out easily. And, that was it. Bing, bang, boom, good night. 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, the Continental Breakfast of Champions champion, Jon Moxley, and the Death Riders, they're in the back, they're cutting a promo. Mox doesn't feel bad about going to war and going after Will Ospreay's neck to beat him at Dynasty. He's going to face Nick freaking Wayne on Collision. Doesn't know much about him, only about his mom. Nick Wayne's mom has got it going on. Yes. Okay. So hopefully Nick Wayne has a surprise. Yeah, his mom. That's it. We move on. Alright, then we get to Willow Nightingale and Camille for the TBS title. Short 8.5-minute match. Willow gets the win on a 1922 backslide. This match stunk. 2.25 out of 5 stars. I don't get it. They bring back Camille, I guess because they're hyping American Gladiators, which not that great. I've seen a couple episodes, not great. The Hogan era American Gladiators was better than this shit with The Miz. I'm just saying. Bring back Mike Adamle at least. An Adamle original. Matt Harvey, or Jeff Harvey, Let's get a 6-pack Adamle challenge. Winner gets the belt. First guy to get the belt, in 25 minutes to become a champion. Remember how Brian Kendrick became world champion in that six-way match? That was weird. Like, Kendrick gets the win, he's the world champ. Like, what? And then he lost in like 2 minutes later or some shit. But it was a fun match, you know, an Adam Lee original. Never seen that before. But anyway, we move on. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't think we're gonna see Camille again. It was just like a one-time thing. Beats up Willow, then beats some Hammenegger on 0 Hour, then loses her title match. Man, I guess we're never gonna see her again. Go back to American Gladiators. Season 2. Or whatever, if they do a Season 2. Who knows what the ratings... Oh, it's not that much ratings if anybody even watches it. I don't even care for it. We get that. Alright, then we get a video from Hikaru Shida and Chris Cakelander. They're supposedly a team now. We've seen them team up the last 2 collisions, basically. And, they're going to be in action again on Collision. And, yeah. They're ready to win at Collision. Well, Shida is. Cakelander can't even get a word in edgewise. And, you know, now Shida's going to face Mina, who thinks that... Mina thinks that Shida attacked Toni Storm. Possibly? Possibly. Never know. I think we did see, in the dressing room, we saw a kendo stick. Well, anybody could use a kendo stick, but, I mean, look at that. Alright, then we go to your main event of Collision. Oh, before we get to the main event, we get Darby. He's walking to the ring. He meets up with Renee Paquette, asking him how he feels and everything. And then, out of nowhere, it's Sting! No, Sting shows up. Old man Sting. He says, and he's like, you ready? And Darby's like, it's showtime. No, it's your time. Your time, Darby. He says it like 50 times. Okay. So you're thinking like, oh, he's gonna win tonight, right? Well, yeah. We get to the match. Darby beats his ass in 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Max didn't even get out the gates. He got squashed. Darby hits 4 straight coffin drops. Then a headlock takeover. 1, 2, 3. We got a new World Heavyweight Champion, Darby Allin. Locker room comes out. Even the Bucks came out. That was insane. Blah, 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 blah. And, yeah. So Darby is the new champ. And now, well, his first defense is against the Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa. And, that's it. So we shall see what happens with that tonight. And we move on. Alright, let's get to Collision real quick. We got about 10 minutes to, Dynamite. We can do this. So, from the same arena, Angels of the Winds Arena in Everett, Washington, Tony Baloney Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness, me love, on commentary. So on a special Thursday, I don't know why. I guess because WrestleMania weekend, so they did it on Thursday. So we got that. Alright, so we started with, hey kids, it's Edge. So he comes out, got a nice black eye. He's like, things didn't go as he wanted to at Dynasty. FTR did what they said they would do, and they did it. Christian is finding out if his arm is broken after they Pillmanized it. FTR Apollo Joe, Beth fucking Phoenix stole Christian's watch, which is worse for Christian than hurting his wife. Okay. FTR said that Cage and Cope wouldn't. Oh, let me. Cage and Cope wouldn't get another title shot, but Edge is like, I got an idea on that. Him and Christian have been gone for years, but are back again to go after FTR. So then FTR and then Roppongi Vice, Trent, and Rocky Romero, they say, they come out, beat the fuck out of Edge, and then the Young Bucks had to make the save, and then we got a 6-man tag team match out of that. Or, no, we get something. I thought we were going to get like a 6-man tag or maybe an 8-man tag. But, I mean, we'll see. Alright, then Jungle Jack Perry, the AEW National Champion, wants Don Callis to pick another member of the family to meet him for the national title on Dynamite. Well, next week on Collision. So we got that. Let me move on. Alright, then we get to the Rascals. Myron Reed and Zachary Wentz this time, taking on the Young Bucks. Matt and Nick Jackson, who are sadly ending the BTE mailbag. I tried to get my question on. I tried. We need BTE karaoke back, dude. Just saying. Alright, but, yeah. So this was a very good match for under 14 minutes. Back and forth they went, but we get to the end. 450 gets Zachary Wentz and the Evolve, and it's a pair of super kicks. Yeah, we get a pair of super kicks. Puts him down. BTE trigger. Hits Myron Reed. Zachary makes a save. Then the Bucks hit the go for the TK driver. That gets broken up as well. But on the second attempt, they hit Zachary Wentz and he gets knocked the fuck out. Bye-bye, so long, farewell. Bucks get the win. And that's that. And then after the match, the Bullet Club War Dogs, to shoot me for the love of God. And that's Clark Connors and David Finlay, since Gabe Kidd hurt his shoulder again. They come out and basically beat the crap out of both teams. And then David Finlay says they're down a dog, but they still want the tag now. They want the tag team belts instead of the trios titles. So see what happens with that. We move on. Alright, then we get a video on Divine Chaos, the AEW Women's Tag Team Champions Megan Bayne and Lena Cross. We get that. Alright, then we get a 6-man tag team match, or trios match, non-title match. We got the conglomeration of Orange Cassidy, Roddy, and Kyle O'Reilly, Auto Parts, take on Lethal Twist. That's Blake Christian, Lee Johnson, and Black Machismo. Woo, yeah, dig it. That's Jay Lethal. Decent match. Went long, about almost 12 and a half minutes. We're getting in the end. Blake Christian's back up with a kick into a suplex to Kyle, and Jay Lethal hits Hail to the King, the Macho Man elbow, winning down from heaven. Oh yeah, all right, Miss Elizabeth. That's right, Randy. Hi, Mr. Joseph. How you doing? Hi, Liz. You're looking great, as always. Randy, you be nice. I'm always nice. Freak out, Macho Man. Okay, calm down. Anyway. Alright, then, Orange Cassidy and Blake Christian trade lazy kicks. Kyle's knee gets triple teamed down. Ow. Then everybody's down again. Kyle picks Lee Johnson's ankle, and with his partners taken out, Lee Johnson just tapped out. That's it. So Kyle gets the win for the team, and that's it. Decent match that it was. And we move on. Alright, Anthony Bowens, of all people, asks, send for the man, we haven't seen you in a while. Hook, get in here. Bring your Doritos. Hook, ladies and gentlemen, former Trios champion in his own right. Now the leader of the Ops, since Samoa Joe is still hurt. But I think he's medically clear, so we're going to see him sometime soon. So Anthony Bowens asked Hook if he could be in the Ops or not. Well, we'll find out this week. I don't think it's going to end well for him. But that's all I got to say about that. Alright, women's tag team action. Chris Caitliner and Kinoshita to take on Big Ann and Danica De La Rouge, if you will, De La Rouge. 2.5 minute squash match. Sheeta pretty much did most of the work. Those of the katana, but says, you know what? You finish it off, Caitliner. So Caitliner comes in, hits Saturday Night Fever or Thursday Night Fever. 1, 2, 3 on Big Ann. Big bang boom. Good night. Didn't care. And that's that. Alright, then we get to Jon Moxley and Nick freaking Wayne. Non-title matches. Ring of Honor TV title, not on the line. Continental Breakfast title, not on the line. Just one-on-one. Eliminator match, though, for the Continental belt. This was actually a pretty damn good match for 15 minutes exactly. Getting to the end. Nick Wayne hits a quick code red for a near fall, but he gets a crossface. Then Nick Wayne slips out of that, beats up Mox a little bit. Big flippy dippity doo drops Mox again, and Mox is busted wide open. The rare time Moxley bleeds in a match. Did the eyebrow? I think, his eyebrow got cut, something like that. He throws him back in. Nick Wayne kicks him in the head for a near fall, kind of opens up the wound even more. Moxley shrugs that off, shrugs off some forearms. Then he hits the Pale Rider. 1, 2, 3. Mox beats Nick fucking Wayne in 15 minutes exactly. Because he saw his blood and he got all pissed. And then that's it. Let me move on. Alright, Don Callis says that he can get Okada out of his Intercontinental title match with Takeshita, but Okada's like, no! Me want title match! Give me title match! At Double or Nothing, essay. Oh, no, what am I saying, essay? Give me title match! Don Callis like, okay. So, I guess that's our first official match for Double or Nothing. For the Intercontinental title, it's gonna be a banger. Okada, Takeshita. Woo! Sign me up. And we got that. Alright, back to the ring we go. We got the bastard Pac taking on the creepy man himself, Leo Rush, or Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Precious! That guy's creepy. Danny Garcia, the Dancing Fort, ringside. This match was crazy, 11-minute match. Freaking, Leo Rush grabbed Danny Garcia and he's like, ah! And Danny's like, ah! Get him off! Get him off! Ah! Ah! He's having a convulsion. Looked like, and freaking Leo Rush looked like he was about to, eat him or something like that. Wait, there's nothing in catering? Anyway, Pac gets the win after, locking in a brutalizer, and Leo Rush just passed out while smiling. Weird match. Just weird. Alright, after that, I'm gonna put on Dynamite. Dynamite's on the air! We are live from Portland! Just about to go on. Okay. Alright, let's finish this shindig up. Anyway, we got a video on the Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito S.A. battle. He's a wanted man. Not wanted enough that anyone's gone after his belt since December, so. But, I think he has a match coming up with Blake Christian, possibly a supercard. At least he got something to do. Alright, we are live from the Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Portland for this week's edition of AEW Dynamite. Pyro going off, little bitty fire. Now we're getting a bunch of ladies. Great to see ladies in the crowd. Why not? Show your titties. Hey, who's that? What high school do you go to? Okay. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, they're showing the fans, and we'll see what's gonna start off first. Well, we got a recap of Darby winning the belt. Why not? Alright, so we got recap of Palooza to start before we get to the action. Alright, so we got a nice little video of Bandito, so I was like, hey, it's Bandito! Yay! We get that. Alright, then we get to a 6-man tag team match. We got the big man, Brody Who King, Mystico, and Mascara Dalada, S.A., taking on Ricky Gibson. Yeah, that Ricky Gibson. They used to, was a partner with Kevin Steen at one time on, I think it was on SmackDown. He was on like 2 SmackDowns, I think. And then, God. So Ricky Gibson, Casey Riff, and Cole Rivera. Obviously, this was a squash match, almost 90 seconds, and Brody King hit the Gonzo Bomb. 1, 2, 3, gets the win. Filler match. Bye-bye. Alright, then, like I said before, Mina, my 4th amazingly hot Asian wife, Chris Cakelander, Mina Shirakawa, interrupts Hikaru Shida and Chris Cakelander. Mina does not trust Shida after what she said about Harley Cameron about a week ago. Cakelander has to keep them apart, but Mina still doesn't trust Shida. And that's that. Uh-oh. Max is out here, and he is pissed. He's in his gear. Oh, he is mad.
No. See, I'm not like your paper champion, Darby Allin.
Ooh, paper champion.
You show me the respect I've earned.
All right, Max.
Last week will forever be known as the Seattle Screwjob. 3 days prior to my magic
Seattle Screwjob.
For make no mistake about it, my AEW World
We'll figure that one out.
I wrestled in an all-out war against Kenny Omega, and I came out victorious.
He did. Great match.
Without being banged up, without being bruised, without being battered. 3 days later, I show up to work, and I'm informed I'm wrestling Darby on the day. I get hit in the nuts. That stink, Aubrey Edwards does a fast count.
Whoa. Called Aubrey a skank and a fast count. Shit.
Darby Allin is a dirty little cheat.
You're a dirty little cheat too there, Max, because you cheated so many times before.
Actually believe that Darby Allin can beat me at 100%?
He probably could.
Do you disrespectful little shits
Whoa, he cursed.
actually believe that Darby Allin could beat me if I was prepared?
Probably.
Well, then you must have short-term memory loss, so allow me to give you a lesson on OMJF.
Oh, we gotta get a history lesson. Here we go.
I am the most complete professional wrestler in the history of this sport.
Sport!
I am the man who has beaten every top name professional wrestling has to offer.
Tell me when he's telling lies.
The man who made sure Heyman Adam Page could never be world champion ever again.
Tell me when Max is telling lies here.
I'm the man who kicked out of the one-wing angel like it was freaking nothing.
Pretty much.
I am the best professional wrestler in the world. Darby Allin, I don't give a damn about your main event match against this psycho killer. I don't give a. If you have an ounce of dignity in your fragile little body, you will come out here right now and you will give me back my world championship right now.
Well, he has to face Ciampa first.
Don't hold your breath, Max.
See if, Nope, Darby ain't coming out. Kenny's coming out. Oh, wait, that ain't Kenny. That's Kevin Knight. Alright, so Kenny... Wait. Are we gonna get MJF getting the TNT title tonight? I mean, really? Alright, so we'll see what happens with that. Twins just tied it up on a sacrifice fly. So it's 1-1, bottom of the 4th inning. So we get that. And, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with the Mets. Right now, they're 8.5 games out of first place. 1 game back of the Filthies, who are, well, Atlanta's winning tonight, so I guess Washington 8-4, top of the 5th. Phillies are losing 1-0 to the Cubs. And Miami won earlier today. They're going to play San Fran this weekend. So, right now, Miami's 4.5 back, so they're 4 games up on the Mets. So, Mets got to make a climb, and they got to, you know, do something right now. Because they would not make the playoffs. They're the worst team in the National League. And pretty much they're 6.5 games back if the wild card would be starting. So, alright, that's that. I'm not going to listen to that. Alright, let's end up this video so we can get into Dynamite fully. And we're going to do Dynamite review tomorrow. Alright. So Mina doesn't trust Sheeta. And we get that. Alright, then we get to the AEW Women's Championship on the line. Alex Windsor takes on Dekla. Pretty decent match for 12-12. Make a wish. Getting in the end. Windsor locks in the sharpshooter. Dekla gets to the ropes. Comes back with a Black Widow, baby. And that gets broken up. They go to the top. Dekla pulls out the brass knucks from her titties. Missed with the first shot, but the second one connects. I don't know how the ref didn't see that. And then a stomp, I think for the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Dekla retains the title. That too. Excuse me. And that's it. And that ends Collision and Spring Breakthrough night number 2. And that's that. Alright guys, I am out of here. Dynamite I thought was a better show, so I gave Dynamite 7.5 out of 10 stars. Collision was alright, 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the shows down below in the comment section, and like Trick Woody would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright guys, I will be back later on after Dynamite on my Killer Demons channel with your Monday Night Raw review for earlier in the week. And then like I said, tomorrow night we will talk about Dynamite for this week. And then we'll do TNA Ring of Honor on Friday. Get you ready for SmackDown Friday night. And nothing really this weekend. That's pretty much it. And that's that. Alright, thanks for watching everybody. Until next time. Peace, motherfuckers!